Good evening, everyone out there. And for some of you, it may be good morning. But anyway, good day to all of you that have decided to tune in. You may not be on this call or this Google Hangout live today, but that's what's so good about something being able to be recorded. You can visit and revisit as many times as you want. So with that being said, here's a little bit of awesome again with Kathy Jones and Barbara Williams. And we spend a lot of time contemplating. And Kathy and I love to kick around ideas, which we've been doing for a little bit this evening. And in those kicking around of ideas, we go, well, wait a minute, there's people out there that could truly benefit from some of our ideas that we kick around. Wouldn't you agree, Kathy?
Totally, whether they're new ideas or old ideas or ideas that people have heard before. Sometimes you need to rehear it, and you also need to hear it with a little bit different spin on it, which lots of times we put a different spin on it.
Amen. So one of the things I would like to talk about this evening, and I'm sure, Kathy, you've heard of it, old school, new school. You've heard those terms, right?
Oh, most definitely.
Okay, and so you hear this things like, oh, that's old school marketing techniques, or old school marketing techniques are outdated. What we're doing is new skill marketing techniques. And I'm going to have to invent a word, because what I do is omnipotent, omnipresent marketing techniques. I encompass it all. I mean, old school is as old as you want it to be, or as new as you want it to be, and new school is as old or new as you want it to be, because there's nothing new in the first place, because everything comes from the Bible. And before that was, before Christ, Plato and Socrates and everybody else. So is there really anything truly new? No, maybe some technology, getting on the internet. But in terms of philosophical ideas, we're just putting things together in different ways. So do I think old school methods of marketing work? Absolutely. Do I think new school methods of marketing work? Absolutely. Do I think that putting the two together is a brilliant idea? Absolutely. And so somebody would say to me, they say, well, Barbara, how do you train your team? I said, well, I train them in the way that they want to be trained. Why would I want to put a square peg in a round hole? If someone doesn't want to do cold calling, for example, and that's definitely old school stuff, why would I insist that that was the only way to build a business? Or if someone didn't like doing hotel meetings, why would I tell them that they have to do that in order to succeed? Or home parties, or really anything, or using the internet, or pay-per-clicks, or solo ads, or building lead capture pages and funnels. Why would I move in a direction of teaching somebody how to market or build their business in a way that they aren't happy with? And that brings us back to the old saying that I know everyone on this call has heard. Love what you do what you love, and the money will chase you down. Now, we've heard that millions and millions of times, but we may not have experienced it. Now, fortunately, I have experienced it. And right here and right now, the money's chasing me down, and I've had it happen a few times in my life. The hard part of that is finding what you truly, truly can get excited about and passionate about, so that you're putting out that kind of level of energy so people will chase you down to partner and be in your circle of influence. So, Kathy, what's your opinion on that?
Well, it all makes such sense, Barbara, because marketing, just look, what is marketing? Marketing is just you're influencing people who might want to buy your product or your service, but you want to use a message that really conveys what kind of value they're going to get from your product or service. Now, whether you do that standing up in front of a meeting at a hotel room, or you do that on Facebook, or you do that on, with attraction marketing, you do that with a lead capture page, with a funnel, like you said, there's many different ways to do that. But I think the most important thing is showing that you've got some value, something that people are looking for, something that you can, help them with in some way, shape, or form. Whether it's, showing them how they can create their own lead capture page and their own marketing website, or showing them, if they're not into that, how they can bring people to a meeting, how to get people, relay value for people to come with them to a meeting. It's all about that value conversation, in my opinion.
Right. And I'll tell you, one of the things I'd like to talk to are the people that may be listening to this evening that say, I don't like sales. I don't like marketing. I don't want to be in network marketing because I don't like to sell. I don't like to market. I don't want to influence, basically. That's kind of interesting, because when you raise your children, you better be thinking about influencing them, or they'll be influenced to go the wrong direction. So I don't know what some people have these issues for, because they just are doing it every day in certain areas of their life, and they just don't know what to call it. So there was a point in my time I said, okay, I don't want to do network marketing. So I went to trade $25,000 to take a seminar of The Science of Getting Rich with Bob Proctor. So, okay, great. I'm going to go take this course, and I'm not going to have to sell anything, and I'm not going to have to market, and blah, 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 blah. So I pay this $25,000. I take the course. Now I've got the rights to be a facilitator in front of the room, and I can teach the science of getting rich on behalf of Bob Proctor. I can market, whatever word you want to use, sell, upsell, downsell, whatever, the products in the back of the room, and get a 50% commission, right? And the products will sell themselves. You just have to put them in the back of the room. And I can be the speaker in the front of the room teaching the material. Well, I said, that sounds really good. But Kathy, what do I have to do to have an audience in the room?
Well, it's kind of back to you're selling yourself.
You're marketing. You have to market the event, market yourself, make phone calls, send out flyers, do emails, have whatever it takes. You've got to get butts in seats, and that's called whatever you want to call it, sales, marketing, influencing, or whatever, but you still have to do it. So I said, well, wait a minute. This is a linear income. In other words, I sell something, I have 50%. I could get a passive residual in network marketing, and with both, in both arenas, I still have to market, don't I, Kathy?
So much of what makes the world go round, what creates that money in our pockets, that keeps that money in motion, is marketing. We were talking earlier, Barbara, about ads on TV, advertising, how we love to hate them. We don't like having those ads interrupt our TV program. But why do they do them? Because they work.
Absolutely. So then I think I'll go become a dentist, and I'm going to specialize in veneers, and I'm going to be a dentist. And so I go to school for 10 years to become a dentist, because I can make really good money and punch a time clock as I own my own business, or the business owns me. And I'm now getting a linear income. Well, but wait a minute, Kathy, how do I get all those patients?
You've got to get out and market.
If I'm not going to market myself, I've got to pay somebody to do it. And it's the same thing in network marketing. Either I get out there and do it, or I pay somebody else to do it for me. But at the end of the day, if I want to be a dentist, and I want to be in private practice, and I want to have patients, clients, whatever you want to call them, I better find a way to get butts in seats. Right?
Exactly. It all comes down to, you're going to have to do something, whether it's old school marketing, through, like you said, ads or one-on-one or whatever, or it's new school marketing on the internet through social media, etc. You have to do something to get those people in those seats.
Right. So now let's talk about those people that really hate sales. They hate sales. Now, another word for sales, like you said earlier, is positioning yourself to influence another human being. Now, I know there's got to be at least one person out there listening to this call this evening that is married. So my question is, you're married and you hate sales. How did you ever get a husband to propose to you? I mean, don't you have to have some sort of bragging rights and influence the person some sort of way, or do you just sit up there like a bump on a log saying nothing and all of a sudden they decide to marry you? Don't work like that. Every aspect of life encompasses on some level being an influencer, being a salesperson, being a marketer. My God, you have a responsibility to influence your children. That's sales. You're selling them on your idea that they should get a college education. And if you're not selling them on your idea to get a college education, then they're selling you on their idea to be a high school dropout. Now, which story do you want them to buy, yours or theirs? So all these people that are carrying around this psychological baggage that's getting in their way of being a producer, I mean, I'm saying throw it off a cliff. You know what it reminds me of, Kathy? Did you ever watch the movie, I think it's called, I want to say The Mission or The Missionary. Oh my God, that's not it. It's an older movie with Robert De Niro, and it's taken, I want to say, taken in another company with some indigenous people in a period of time when Catholicism was really big. So anyway, Robert De Niro does something that is kind of against the church. So he's punishing himself. Did you know, Kathy, back in those days, people used to beat themselves when they did something wrong?
I can believe that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they had a name for it, those kind of whipping sticks, you know? So he's tied a whole net, you know, like you catch fish in, of garbage, you know, tin cans, trash, all this, very heavy. And he's trying to climb this cliff carrying all this stuff. Well, that is, you know, a metaphor for the psychological baggage that we carry and how we punish ourselves and how all of that gets in the way of us moving forward in life. He's trying to climb this cliff and he almost dies before he pulls out his knife and he cuts the ropes and rids himself of all that junk so he can make it up over the cliff. Well, I'm here today to say, my friend, get rid of that junk in your head that holds you back. Free yourself from all the negative thinking that you don't even realize it's negative thinking. You know, people will say, I was looking at the quadrants. Are you familiar, Kathy, with Robert Kiyosaki's various quadrants, the 4 quadrants, one being a job, one being a business, a traditional business, and then one being an investor, and one being a bigger business. Are you familiar with those quadrants?
Very much so.
So you have a job, it's linear income, you go to work, punch a clock, and you get paid. When you go own a job, you're really doing the same thing. The store opens at 9, it closes at 9. If you're not there, you don't get paid. In the first scenario, the job owns you. And the second scenario, the job owns you.
I've been there, Barbara. I have been, worked at a hospital where the job owned me. Then I decided I don't want this anymore. I'm going to open my own business. And I opened my own restaurant.
Right.
Well, the job owned me.
Yeah.
The business owned me.
Right. So then you go over into self-employed commission-based things, which is a little bit more freedom with that. Because if you're dealing with affiliate marketing or network marketing, you can literally get paid and make money when you're sleeping, which is really incredible and it's a nice feeling. And I've had that happen to me where I woke up in the morning and go, oh my God, I made some money and didn't do a thing. fact, that just happened a few minutes ago. So, and then there's making your money work for you. So basically what I'd like to do is, I don't want to take up a bunch of the time, is that you do have to have the proper mindset. You have to know the path you're going to go. You want to know the destination. Yet and again, success is not a destination, it's a journey. And I highly recommend that you have multiple streams of income. You know, a lot of these old school sayings, like don't count your eggs before they hatch, don't put all your eggs in one basket, one in the hand is worth two in the bush. I mean, if people would sit down and analyze those old sayings, they had a lot of truth to them. A lot of truth. And so don't put all your eggs in one basket. That means you should have multiple streams of income. One in the hand is worth two in the bush. That means if you have a good company you're working with and you're getting an income, don't throw that away for two possibilities that are just possibilities at this point. Don't count your eggs before they hatch. Well, you can have projections, but don't go out and spend the money before you've even earned it. So a lot of these old principles are worth living by. But like I said, I want to end the call with this. Whether it be an affiliate program, a network marketing program, a traditional business, and direct response marketing, I would say that you should have a minimum of 5 different streams of income coming in. And balance your day working a little bit in each of them. And, you know, Kathy and I were going round and round about what comes first, the chicken or the egg. And the reality is, if you don't have the right mindset, the vision, the idea, the Golden Gate Bridge could never have been built. So true reality is the idea in your head. So, you know, think about what you want, write it on paper, and now you can do your blueprint to follow it through to get what it is you want out of life by utilizing multiple streams of income. And going in that direction is to know what your short-term, medium-term, long-term goals are. And a goal is not worth having if you don't have a deadline. So my recommendation is to do multiple 90-day action plans with a daily method of operation and keeping your mindset in check by doing a 30-day mental diet repeatedly. So Kathy, anything you want to add to that before we wind up this call?
No, and I'm agreeing with what you say about multiple streams of income. I just moved to a new area here in Asheville, North Carolina, and in meeting some of my neighbors, they're working 2 or 3 jobs, you know, to make ends meet. And so they're doing multiple streams of income. I do always coach people, though, that I know that are doing that. Try to do multiple streams of income that complement each other, that don't really conflict, but complement each other. So I think that's kind of important so you can stay focused on different areas of your life. We work with Elite Marketing Pro, which teaches people how to market any business. And
That's
then
right.
you might work with a nutritional company, or you might do some other online sales on Amazon. That you don't have to be a product expert to do that. So try and look for different things that can complement and not compete with each other.
Absolutely. And so you can find Barbara Williams at barbarawilliams.net. It's barbarawilliams.net. You can join her email group at barbarasnetwork.com. So that's BARBARA, S as in Sally, network, NETWORK.com. And get on the email group, so keep you guys informed. And Kathy is, I love that, Kathy, who is KathyJones.com. All of you out there deserve to know who is KathyJones.com.
Oh, you're
Incredible
so funny,
woman,
Barbara.
my dear friend. And so, you know, look us up, get to know us, and just maybe, if you tune in to this dial, you might get one nugget. And all it takes is one nugget that will really take you up and over the top. Bye for now.
Thank you, everyone. Good night or good day.
Bye-bye.